Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to look at next sequence, different ways you can utilize it. Someone left a comment. I have a video on that. It's from a long time ago, so it's just easier to. Obviously, it's easier for me to make another one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go in here, and my drive. I've got a hard drive inside here. I've got a blank template. Okay, so it can get a little tricky sometimes. So bear with me. So on here is a template that's just got 16 different track names. No sounds or anything unloaded. So if I go into here, to me it's easiest, depending on what you're doing. Today I'm going to load a couple sounds in and then copy these over. So I'm going to load this drum set here in. And I think I'm going to load. Okay, this funk kit here. So I'm going to load two different kits in here. Drum kits here. And so when you load them into the session, you'll be able to assign these to different sequences. So I'm going to go in here and load this funk kit or funk bass. And then just for convenience, I'm going to load this Rhodes sound. Okay, so in the session is going to have 3 sounds just to start out with. And I'm going to assign this to... Okay. All right, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to, this bass sound, I'm just going to have this this sound here. Okay. And then this keyboard sound, I'm just going to have it like this. So what's going to happen is so that's a pretty good start, I think. And you can't, sometimes it's hard to figure out what sounds you want to use until you get further into something. So so what I'm going to do is when you copy a sequence in so this is a sequence, when you copy a sequence within a project, so I'm going to copy it over here. It's just going to copy whatever you have. In this case, I have no MIDI data, but I do have track assignments and I have track names. So if I go to track 1, you can see that's loaded. If I go to sequence number 2, that's loaded. So you're just saving yourself a little time. So I'm going to go copy this to 3. Okay. So I got 3 sequences, all with keyboards on track 9. The same drum kit on track 1, MIDI track 1, of course. And then on track 9, I've got a keyboard sound. And that does save me a little bit of time having to housekeep, but you can never avoid it. So in this case, there are so many reasons why you'd want to do one thing over another. So if I go to quickly, if I hold this main button down and hit my bass track or hit it right here, it's going to just skip to that track, kind of like the old Phantoms. So okay, so I don't know what I want to start out with, but that's okay. So I'm on track 1. So let's just go in here and turn the metronome is on. Let me just erase automation. Did I turn the click off? why I would have done that, but okay, so now so going to a next sequence, you could leverage this as like a B take, a C take, an E take, so forth and so on. Or you can leverage next sequence as a different sequence entirely, okay? Instead of committing to a linear aspect. It just depends on how you want to work. So let me see if I do it this way. So if I go into here, I'm going to go to part B. So I'm going to do something like that, totally out of character. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what that's going to sort of sound like is if I go to this keyboard part. And this is all going to sort of make sense in a second. So I'm going to play a keyboard part here. Let's see, 1, 2. Okay, so how this all plays a part. So I'm going to go into here. And I'm going to go put this modal money. So if I go to part B, and this is starting to turn into like part 1, part 2, instead of just alternate takes. And so let's just go into one other sound, and I'm going to load something. We'll just load this fat lead. Okay. So let me go load the fat lead, and then I'm going to go to section A, and we're going to load the fat lead on here too. Same track to keep it uniform. Okay, so we know we have a section here. Okay. Now we got this part. Now if I go back to this first part, now if I go to this other part, so this example, which I didn't really plan it this way, but happens to be a scenario that would be song A, song B, right? And so for this situation, let's say I have this first section. I'm going to copy this into open section number 3. So what's going to copy is the MIDI data, the track names, and the track assignments. So I'm going to go to track 3. I'm going to make this real distinctful. A with rhythm. So when I look at this, I can see that's A and A with rhythm. All right, same part but with rhythm. So I'm going to go in here and to the pre-labeled guitar track, and I'm going to go pick. So A rhythm, I'm going to put this guitar track. Just kind of think of a way to do this was to stay full. Let's see. So I'm going to just double this sequence. But I like what I, oops, my bad. I'm going to double this, but I like what I did on the first 4 bars. So all I'm going to do is just first 2 bars. So I'm going to go up to bar 3 and just create a little loop and re-record. Now I'll go back to bar 1. So we can see we have part A, which is no guitar. And so where this plays, where this sort of plays a part is, so if I go to, okay, so I got fat lead still on here. So let me just trigger this. If I hit next sequence, it kind of gives me more control. So watch. Now if I go to part 3, okay, or whatever. Now I think that might have actually been a little bit too busy, and because that's more of a rhythm part, as I see now, realizing after I practice this, it's too busy because it's getting in the way of the melody. So now I have to do this. Because I know if I go to so it's out of the way. But that's the kind of stuff, as you start building and using these sections, it's just more of an efficient way to actually work. And then you can link these all together to make a full song. Now, these don't actually have to be related to one another. You can make a full song in sequence number 1, and sequence 2 can be an entirely different song. It just depends on the way you like to work and what. So the MPC, I couldn't do this in Logic quite the same way. And so those of you that are new to the MPC, it's sort of a growth of maturity as you start using it more and more. You start seeing some of the things it does extremely well, and of course there's some things it doesn't do as well. But you can start utilizing these to your advantage, okay? So, so for example, if I go to part 2, so if I, an extreme example would be, so if I go into here, okay, we'll do this again. So I had a little issue with the race that. Now if I copy this over to sequence number 4, which is number D, I can call this let's see, copy to number 4. Did that the wrong way. So this is this. So now I can go into here